Welcome to East by West Farms, where we grow what we eat and we eat what we grow. Today I'm gonna seed fava beans and peas. We had an extremely dry and hot summer here in Texas. It's getting a little bit cooler now and it's time to seed fall vegetables. We love legumes, we love to eat fava beans and peas. There are a lot of great things about legumes. First of all, they taste good. Then they provide nitrogen for the plants. And they grow very well here in our climate. A few years ago, I went to the dollar store and bought a bunch of fava beans. We've been harvesting them since and saved some of the seeds for seeding in fall. Last year we didn't have a lot of frost, so they were growing through winter. 2 years ago they all died. We had a whole week of very cold temperatures with power outage and the whole 9 yards. But they came back, so if they have a good rootstock, they freeze down to the ground, but they sprout back when the weather gets warmer. Peas are easy to grow, they taste good, the ducks like them. There are two ways of growing them. One way would be to just spread them in the garden, put them into the soil and wait until they grow. This year we tried a different method. To sprout the fava beans, we put them in a bowl of water, soak them overnight until the seedling starts poking through, like here in these fava beans. I have a few fava beans sprouted and those are soaking. Let me see, this one is okay. So I'm just taking the ones where I see the germ coming out. This one is sprouting. And this is the last of the batch we have. Hein has seeded a bunch of fava beans already. All right, chicken food, chicken food, chicken food, chicken food. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Chicken food, chicken food, chicken food. What, you don't like it? Well, I guess this is not the biggest success. Hein cleaned out the area here. This used to be pumpkins. We'll leave the residue of the pumpkins on the ground. I know there's some discussion if that's good or not because of the vine borer. So far we didn't have much problem with vine borers, so hopefully that stays that way. I've got this tool that I use to make a little hole in the ground. Put the fava bean in. And that's it. Honestly, I'm not quite sure if this is the place where I'm supposed to seed the fava beans or if it was somewhere else. Hein told me and I can't remember. But oh well. I'm not gonna dig them back up anymore. In here. I'm going here. Now you can seed them all in nice little rows. We are more of the opinion that mixed seeding is better, so we have mixed stuff growing together. Here's a Kunchenzeig row and there's some beans over there. It's all good. It certainly doesn't look as neat and orderly as when you have neat little rows. Which direction do you need to seed the beans? I think that the roots start growing first, so maybe you should put the germ down towards the bottom. I don't think it matters. I mean, the plants figure out which way is up and which way is down. I found some more sprouted peas in the refrigerator, and I have another patch where I haven't seeded anything yet. There's still some grass growing, Bermuda grass, which is hard to control. It's another invasive grass. So I'm going to plant that here with peas. Hopefully in spring we'll have a good harvest of peas. We've been lucky that it's been raining last night. Actually, we had a tornado rolling through, 2 tornadoes rolling through. There was a front we didn't expect. Fortunately, the tornado didn't touch down, was coming right towards us. I spent part of the night in the barn because it's not great to be in a single wide when you have a tornado coming. But nothing happens, no damage. We got some rain, not an awful lot, but right now we're taking any rain. It's been just an extremely dry spring, summer and fall so far. One of the challenges with our method of gardening is that I don't know where something's growing. Since I have only a few defined walkways in the garden, it's pretty hard for me to spot where something's grown and where not, and where I can step without damaging any. So this one looks like here are winter vegetable sprouting. So let me put a few peas in here. Hopefully I'm not damaging too much. The way how I plant the peas is that we have clusters of peas. Here's one more. One of the nice things about saving the seeds is that we don't need to worry about the cost of the seeds. It makes it a totally different way of seeding, so we don't really need to be conscious on how many seeds we put in there and maximizing the return on the investment. Okay, one more here. Next is watering. Well, we just told the plants, look guys, there's enough water, time to wake up, time to break dormancy. Now if we keep them in the dry soil, they're not gonna do much and not grow. So I need to keep the area where I put the seeds in evenly moist. Actually, 2 reasons for watering. Number 1 is of course to keep the soil moist. The other thing is to get good soil contact with the seeds. So grasses, for example, need to have soil contact, otherwise they don't grow. So if you put some water on the soil, it kind of liquefies and gets better contact with the seeds. Whew. I got all the seeds in the ground. You might have noticed that we're doing a bit of a different approach than probably what most of you are doing. Where I grew up in southern Germany, when we seeded something, the first thing was to dig the garden with a digging fork. Then we took a string and made a straight line, made a little depression in the ground, put the seeds in with a defined spacing, with the optimal spacing that you get from the seed package. Then you covered the seeds, watered them in. There are of course advantages and disadvantages to each method. The advantage of the more orderly way of seeding is that you know where things grow, and if they don't grow, you know where they don't grow. Here, well, if I didn't seed it, I have no idea where it is. Hein seeded a few things that start popping up now. I have no idea where they are. The disadvantage, of course, of the orderly way is that if you have an insect eating one of the plants, an insect that specializes in specific plants, well, they multiply and they eat the whole plantation. We don't have that problem. We have disjoint places where we seed the same plant, and if there's one patch that gets eaten, we still have the other ones. So we have a much lower risk. We don't need to use pesticides. We minimize the risk that we end up with nothing. So I'm curious to understand, what method do you prefer? Do you prefer the orderly Baroque method? Do you prefer the chaotic method that's more similar to the Age of Enlightenment, if you will? Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And if you subscribe to our channel, you get a notification every time we publish a new video.